Today on this video, I want to teach something that I have attempted teaching multiple times on this channel for the last 3, maybe 5 weeks, that I had been coming here and talking about sales, influence, marketing. Primarily, this channel is for entrepreneurs, so that's the area, and also for coaches and consultants. So the content is more or less within that space. But then today, I want to go back on this video, I want to go back to some basics. And this idea of recording today's video, this is coming from my yesterday's video where I talked about creating micro moments of depth in the sales process. So if you haven't seen that video, your very first time on this channel, you haven't seen anything on this channel, then do me a favor, go check out the channel. But specifically yesterday's video, I'm going to drop a link right over here. Go check that. So this is for you if you are an entrepreneur, you are a solopreneur, you are a coach, you're a consultant. Primarily, you are in the business of selling and you are in the role of generating revenues. If that's who you are, then this is for you. And today, as I said, I'm going to go back to the basics and talk about a cardinal mistake that entrepreneurs make, which is in their pursuit to generating revenues, they forget the buyer, the prospect, how the prospect thinks, how the buyer is buying. Instead, they focus on their selling. So as they focus more and more on selling, they focus on the features of what they are trying to sell. And they forget what the product does to the buyer. So I want to walk you through a 3-step process. And we'll take an example and I'll walk you through. I'll probably take my own example here, because I lived that example and I've struggled through that example. So I'll be more congruent as I'm explaining this to you. So what does a feature do? A feature informs. What does a benefit do? Benefit transforms. So a feature it's describing the product, and a benefit is what does this product do to the buyer once they have it? What will it does? What does it do, or what will they get out of it once they have it? For example, let's say I'm doing a 3-day challenge, and I do a lot of webinars, challenges, seminars, workshops. I do a seminar, I do a workshop. Specifically, as I'm recording this, in just a few more days, I'll be doing a 3-day challenge. And I tell people I'm doing a 3-day positive positioning challenge. Level up your life. Means nothing. Actually, it means nothing. The buyer may buy because they are on my email list. They have seen my videos like here on YouTube, but it means nothing to them. Seriously. The buyer, from a benefit standpoint, hey, you will become anxiety-free, stress-free, free of overwhelm, free of chaos in just 3 days. That's the benefit. So 3-day challenge means nothing. What these 3 days will do to the participant, that's what they get out of it. That's what has to be conveyed. So people don't buy coaching. Let's say you're a coach and I'm a coach. People don't buy coaching. Nobody buys coaching. Nobody's waking up in the morning thinking, I'm going to go, now buy some coaching today, right? Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking they want to buy coaching. We may think that way, but that's not the case, right? So people do wake up in the morning thinking, I don't feel confident. Something is not right with me. I don't feel good about myself. I don't know why I'm feeling this stress. I don't know why I'm feeling this anxiety or this overwhelm. They do. They're not saying that a coach is going to fix their problem. So let's say somebody wakes up that way and I show up. For example, you woke up this way and I show up in your feed and I'm telling you, listen, I can help you get over your anxiety, your stress, and all the chaos that you're feeling. And then I'm going to put you on a path to whatever you want to become. And here is how this works. So if I come and speak to you like that, now it's magical. Now we have a connection. Now we have some possibility. Okay. So feature is coaching. Benefit is that as a result of coaching, you get clarity, you become more confident, you create peace, and you are also free. You create freedom for yourself. So the benefit is clarity, confidence, peace, and freedom. The feature is coaching. Okay. So when somebody introduces me to someone, hey, Srini is a coach, I don't like that. Okay. I absolutely, well, that's what it is, but that's not what I would like to hear. What I would like to hear is, because of this man, I have more clarity. Because of this man, I have more confidence. Because of this man, I have more peace and I have more freedom. That creates an incredible level of positioning in the mind of the third person, who now will say, okay, fine, how do you do that? What did he do to you? That opens up a whole new level of possibility right there. Okay. So you got to identify a functional income. That's a step number one in this. You got to identify a functional outcome. Did I say functional income? No, functional outcome. You got to identify a functional outcome from anything that you are trying to sell. The second is that you got to translate that functional outcome into an emotion. That's second step. And the third step is that you tie this emotion into identity and transformation. 3 steps. Big words. Let's break them up into real tangible examples. Okay. How do you identify a functional outcome? Now, forget about coaching for a second. Let's take real estate as an example. And I'm doing that because I have a ton of my coaching clients, and who are either investing in real estate or brokers and realtors who are selling or buying real estate for their clients. Let's take that and let's understand what a functional outcome is. Okay. Most of the realtors, what they do, they sell the backyards, the neighborhood, the square footage, the the price, the interest rates. That's the fundamental frame through which they look. Not everyone, but several. And from that, you can identify how much depth they have in their sales process, like in that area of their work, and how seasoned they are, how much professed, what's their pedigree is when it comes to their work. I'll tell you the difference. By the time we are done on this video, you'll see the difference. The first and foremost is, again, identifying a functional outcome. Now, what if the buyer buys this home, what can they do more easily? So, for example, one of the features would be the kitchen. Okay? Let's take that as a feature. An large open kitchen. That's the feature. It's listed on the listing. Well, what's the functional outcome? The functional outcome is that you can now be in the kitchen and still be a part of the party. Okay. So you don't feel isolated. Isolation is an emotion there. That has to be promoted. You are no more isolated from the party. So what happens? The host is usually isolated because the kitchen is isolated from the party room or from the main hall or whatever. So with an open kitchen, you can have your guests in the kitchen. See that? So that's the functional outcome. Okay. So now what's the second step? The second step is to translate that functional outcome into an emotional outcome. So what do? We ask this question. What will they feel when they experience this kitchen? What will they feel once they're in the kitchen, they experience the kitchen? Well, they'll feel more connected, um, and they feel less stress while creating memorable meals. Simple. And the third step in this is, now you got to connect this to their identity and a transformation, right? So what do they become as a result of living in this house and using this kitchen? Well, now They become a family that eats together. So, you see the transformation? Just a kitchen. Just a kitchen. That's it. You can do all this. Now you have other things too. So, you want to become a family that eats together. And this is what this kitchen does. It's a powerful emotion, powerful transformation. A family that eats together. How many families don't eat together? Do you eat together? Ask this. But what happens? All the people are like, it doesn't matter whether all of them are sitting at the dining table, but they are in the kitchen. Closer, closer to the family that eats together, but it's one step closer, right? You got to you got to you got to promote, and you got to put this possibility. So you see, positioning is conveying the perceived value. Positioning is not branding. It doesn't matter how many houses you sold. It doesn't matter how many years you're doing something. How do you position this in the minds of the people? Okay. Um, Weak listing. Let's talk about a weak listing and a strong listing, or a weak conveying a weak, message versus conveying a strong message. Okay. 3-car garage. Could be. That's a feature. 3-car garage. Right? Plenty of parking for an active lifestyle. Okay. Big, large garage, plenty of parking for active lifestyle. Okay. 3-car garage. Yeah, fine. I can put it there, but this is what I would convey on my social media, in my marketing, in my promotions. This is what I'm conveying. Large enough parking for active lifestyle. Okay. Large backyard. The benefit. Look at this. Um, Backyard large enough for barbecues, birthday parties, and some great memories. Okay. Um, let's just say, quiet neighborhood. Yeah, but what does it mean? Well, quiet neighborhood is I can sleep without any sounds. Okay. I can sleep peacefully while my kids will be biking outside. Okay. My small kids, my children will be biking outside, and I'm sleeping peacefully. That's what a quiet neighborhood is. Okay. Um, Upgraded kitchen. Well, connected family while you're cooking. Upgraded kitchen means nothing. Connected family while I'm cooking means a lot to me. Okay. Hopefully this is helpful. Okay. I won't stop here because there are so many ideas going on in my mind. I won't stop here. Let me know if this was helpful. I'll come back, and based on your comments, I'm going to come back and record some more videos, explain a few more concepts. Sometimes, you got to take, every time I record a video, I come back and I realize, oh, I should have said this, I should have said this differently. And I try to improvise, I try to improve as much as I can. And a thought is never done. It's never completed. So I'm not saying this video in itself is complete, but it's just one step towards me trying to convey what I think, you should do, or in fact, I should do. And as even though I'm in this for many, many years, I still sometimes just, because of my own, my inability to see and catch my own thoughts, or watch my own behavior, I shift into feature mode rather than staying in the benefit mode. And it happens to the best of the best in the game. So if you learn this, you practice this, you stay aware, and you keep on questioning yourself. So as I said very early on in this video, every time I have something to say, I ask this question: what does it do to the buyer, or what does it do to the listener, or what does it do to the prospect? And if I do not narrow that down, I ask that multiple times, and there comes a point, as I question myself, there comes a point where it just clicks. It just, okay, this is what I need to say. So I derive that answer, and then I'm ready. In fact, for this video also, I had to really sit down and derive what is that I have. I know I have to convey the difference between a feature and a benefit, but how do I position this so that any listener or any viewer who is watching this video will benefit from this. And I hope I did. If not, you do let me know. If I did, you let me know. If I did not, you let me know. Drop me a comment. If you like this video, then I can reach a bunch of, little bit more, even though my videos don't get that many views, but I can reach a few more people. But if you do subscribe to this channel, then I'm there. I'm literally here every day practically on this channel, and I record one video a day now. That's my cadence, that's my velocity, that's my pursuit lately. So do me a favor, do any, or if you didn't find any value, don't do anything. Okay. Okay, that's all for now. You take care wherever you are, and I'll be with you as early as tomorrow. Take care.